Your value did not decrease because your marriage ended. You were worthy before the marriage in the eyes of God, and you were worthy after the divorce in the eyes of God. And you were worthy while you were healing too. Confidence grows when your worth is settled. If you're tired of living in survival mode and questioning your worth and faith after divorce and want simple steps to heal, drop that shame and guilt, and rebuild your confidence, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Lori Ann, certified Christian life coach and midlife divorce mom of 2. I learned the secret of how to heal after divorce and rebuild my life through faith-based strategies that changed everything. And if you're ready to remember who you truly are, rediscover your purpose in midlife, love well again, and care for your body and soul, welcome to the club. You're in the right room. So before we get into today's conversation, I want to remind you of something so important. If divorce has shaken your confidence, and if you don't recognize the woman you see in the mirror anymore, if you keep wondering, what happened to me? You are not alone, and you don't have to rebuild by yourself. Inside my annual group coaching membership, the Midlife Comeback Club, I walk Christian women step by step through healing, confidence rebuilding, and identity renewal after divorce with faith, structure, and support. And I'll tell you more about it at the end of today's episode, but I want you to keep this in the back of your mind as we talk. Confidence after divorce isn't about fixing yourself. It's about rebuilding what was shaken. So let's talk about that. Divorce doesn't just break your heart. It quietly chips away at your self-confidence, little by little. And suddenly you second guess everything. Your choices, your worth, your instincts, your ability to even trust yourself anymore. And you might find yourself thinking, why didn't I see this coming? What's wrong with me? I used to be so strong. Where did she go? And because you're a Christian woman, there's also an extra layer. You wonder if struggling with confidence means you're really struggling with your faith. And today I want to clear something up. Divorce didn't expose a confidence problem. Divorce created a confidence wound. And there's a difference. And wounds need care, not criticism from you or anybody else. So after my divorce, I remember standing in my kitchen one morning, staring at my coffee mug as I was waiting for my coffee to brew, which is very much needed for me every single morning. And I remember thinking, I don't trust myself anymore. Not with big decisions, not with relationships, not even with how I felt anymore. I used to be so decisive. I was grounded and I was confident in who I was. But divorce really has a way of making you feel like your judgment is completely broken. Your worth is questionable. Your past starts to define your future. And the shame that creeps in, right? It's quiet, but let me tell you, it's relentless. And I didn't lose my confidence overnight. It eroded slowly, moment by moment through disappointment, betrayal, self-blame, and all the circumstances that come along with divorce that we might not think about before we walk through that. And what changed everything for me was realizing this simple truth. Confidence wasn't destroyed, it was disconnected. And God was not asking me to feel confident again. He was inviting me to rebuild confidence in the right way. So let's walk through this together. Divorce affects confidence because I think it attacks 3 core areas. It's your identity, who I am now. It's trust. Can I trust myself? And it's worth. Am I enough? When one relationship becomes, defining failure in your mind, it's so easy to let it define you. But hear me out. Divorce is an event. it's not an identity. It's an event that happened in your life, but not who you are. Does this sound familiar? When someone used to ask who I was, I used to say, I'm divorced. Like, that's who I had become. The woman I had become was a divorced woman. I usually didn't say much more than that. Just, I'm divorced, as a defining name for myself. Have you done that? When someone asks you who you are, do you define yourself as divorced? And here's why, just be confident advice doesn't work. Because confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a byproduct of alignment. So when your sense of self is shaken, and when your story feels fragmented, and when your faith and your feelings just feel misaligned, right? Confidence doesn't disappear. It goes quiet. And rebuilding it requires truth, safety, and practice, not pressure. So I really want to give you 3 foundational steps to start rebuilding your own confidence without faking it or forcing it, okay? Step 1, I want you to separate your worth from your marriage outcome. These are 2 separate things. Your value did not decrease because your marriage ended. You are worthy before the marriage in the eyes of God. You are worthy after the divorce in the eyes of God. And you are worthy while you are healing. Confidence grows when worth is settled, okay? And step 2, rebuilding your trust with yourself, slowly but surely. Confidence isn't rebuilt through big leaps. It's rebuilt through small promises kept. So I want you to start asking, what do I need today? What feels safe right now? What is one thing I can honor about myself? What did I tell myself I would do today, and did I follow through? Even if it's just one small thing. Each small act of self-trust restores confidence from the inside out. And step 3, anchor confidence in God's truth, not performance. God never asks you to prove your strength. He simply asks you to abide. And confidence rooted in God doesn't sound like, I've got this. I don't need you, God. It sounds more like, God is with me. He is helping me every step of the way, and that's enough. Even though I might not be able to see him working, he's working. He's there, and he's working behind the scenes. And let me tell you, girl, that's confidence that truly lasts. So if you're realizing right now that your confidence didn't vanish, that it was only wounded, and if you're tired of pretending you're okay, if you're ready to rebuild confidence without faking it or forcing it, this is exactly the work that we do inside the Midlife Comeback Club. Inside my annual group coaching membership, you will find an incredible 90-day transformational course that's focused on your healing, your identity, your wellness and spiritual rhythms for your body and your soul, and so many tools and resources to help you walk into your next season, to find your purpose and create an entirely new vision for your life. And it's faith-based coaching every single week with me. We do live group Q&A calls every week, and you'll be around a community of women that are walking through the same season of divorce that you are. And it's for midlife women that really are looking for those tools to rebuild their confidence from the inside out. And the community is so awesome. All of these divorced women who know exactly what you're going through and will reflect that truth back to you on a daily basis when you forget it. And that's the coolest part of our group. I love that all the women lift each other up as we go through this process. And here's what I want you to do next. I want you to click the link in the show notes and learn more about the Midlife Comeback Club. And give yourself permission, okay, just to rebuild, to be supported with a great community around you. And don't try to do this alone, Because confidence after divorce isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who God always knew you were. Thanks for joining me today. Hey girl, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a woman who might really need it right now? Also, please leave me a quick review over on Apple Podcasts. It truly helps this show reach more women who are ready for their divine comeback. And until next time, keep choosing faith over fear, and I will meet you back here next week for another episode.